Okay, welcome to the third module. In this module, we're going to dive deep into the psyche of your potential customer. You have done a great job researching and looking for a profitable niche, and now is the perfect time to know your prospects. Now, most marketers don't do niche research, and yet many of those who do don't take the time to really know their potential customers. Now, what they do is they go into a market thinking they know all they need to know when in fact they don't know squat. You can try this out and ask any marketer you know these questions or even just one of these. What are your customers' fears, desires? How old is your average customer? What's their gender? What are their usual questions? Now, if they can't answer at least two of these questions, how in the hell do you think they're doing their advertising? Okay? Now, before we proceed, let me tell you about a survey that I made to my email list not so long ago, probably 3 or so months ago, to show you how important research is. So what I did is I actually sent 3 surveys. The first survey that I sent out, since my email list is composed of internet marketers, was to get a good grip on how much money they're making as internet marketers. The survey looked like this. So the question I gave out was, what is your monthly income in online or internet marketing? And the choices were none, below $100, $100 to $500, $500 to $1,000, $1,000 to $3,000, $3,000 and above. Now let me break down the results in whole numbers for simplicity. 57% of those who subscribe to my email list are not making any money. 57%. Now, those who are earning less than 100 make up 32%, and 7% earns above the $100 to $500 mark. The others, 3% of my list, earns between the $1,000 to $3,000 mark, and only almost 2% who are earning $3,000 and above. Now, I was really curious as to why the results are astonishingly not in the favor of many. So the second time I sent them another survey, I asked them this. Question was, are you building a list? If so, how big is your list? Choices were none, 100 to 500 subscribers, 500 to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 to 2,500, 2,500 to 10,000, and 10,000 and above. Okay. Now, and the results are not what I was expecting. Now, I sent out a survey to affirm to myself and to them that money is in the list, which for a while I thought was the holy grail of internet marketing. Now, I'm not saying it's not, because it still is the best way to earn a lot of money online. But the results that I got would indicate that it is still what you do with your list and how targeted your list is, which is where research comes in, that makes a big difference. I mean, a list of 300 targeted people will always beat a list of 10,000 untargeted ones every single day. So as for the results, only 11% of them are not building a list. And the surprising part, 47% have a list of 1,000 subscribers and above, and only 23% between the 100 to 1,000 subscriber mark. And approximately 90% of them have subscribers of 1,000 and beyond. Now, judging by the results I got, their success was not directly related to how big their list is. And then it got me thinking, if it's not the list, maybe it's how they built the list. For me, the only way to make a quality list is to only target qualified people. The more targeted your audience, the more qualified your prospects, the better quality is your list. Now, the survey I sent out the third time asked them the question how they choose their market. So the choices were, pick a market that I like, I choose a niche within a market, created the customer avatar, identified demographics, and checked marketplace profitability. And I believe this one is the most accurate survey I've done because it has the most response compared to the first two I sent out. Now, as for the result, 86% of my list only choose a market just because they liked it. Now, the remaining 14% identified a niche within the market, and only 12% of those people went deep into a sub-niche. Now, out of the remaining 12%, only 4% goes the extra mile of identifying the market demographics, and only 2% goes to this extra research that we're about to cover in this module. Now, here's the head-to-head comparison between the first survey I sent out and the last one. Okay, and they say that only 3% of the entire internet marketing population is making it big. And lastly, almost 2% of the people are earning $3,000 and above, compared to the same 2% who goes the extra mile and gets intimate with their target audience. Now, this was revolutionary for me, since I never thought research plays an important part in how much we earn online. Now, you see the big similarity when it comes to the percentage of people doing research and people succeeding in IM. Now, other marketers will argue with me on this since they themselves don't do research and they're pretty much successful in their own right. However, although these marketers may not be the master of research, but they are a master of tracking and testing. What they don't realize is that by constantly tweaking their campaigns and by testing their pages, they are unconsciously refining their target, which is your goal if you're doing research. Now, needless to say, doing this whole process will save you tons of tweaking and testing your web pages for better conversions. As for the results, is it a coincidence? Well, probably, but the similarities are scary that it's something that I just can't brush aside. Besides, judging by my own client's success, they didn't owe it to a big list. They owe it to their raving customers who are eager to devour any product or service they put out. And, by the way, we're talking offline. So how much more if it's online, right? So here's what we're going to cover in this module. Market demographics, putting a face on the target, getting intimate, and the where and the how. So with that in mind, let's get started.